Techno update. Subscribe now.
Moto G5 Plus Review. Design. My main issue with the Moto G4 Plus was its size. It was huge, ungainly and too big for the budget-conscious customer Moto was aiming at. Thankfully, the G5 Plus rights this wrong, ditching the 5.5-inch display for a much more manageable 5.2-inch version, and while there's still a chunky bezel running around the display, it can be comfortably used in one hand. You've got a micro USB port on the bottom, which might seem like a step backwards in the era of USB-C, but I think it suits a phone like this aiming for a wide market, and a very fast fingerprint scanner on the front. Like Huawei, Moto has added a number of gestures to the pad that lets you ditch the on-screen buttons if you so desire, but they're a bit fiddly and involve lots of swiping in precise directions. Display. The 5.2-inch, 1080p LCD display that sits on the Moto G5 Plus is good, and it's hard to quibble for the price for the phone. Colors are accurate, and there's plenty of detail, but it can often feel a bit dull when compared to the G4 or the Honor 6X. Photos and videos look washed out, and there isn't a huge difference when you jack the brightness up. Performance. The performance of the Moto G5 Plus makes me question why the majority of people would need anything faster. It's that impressive. The Snapdragon 625 CPU is one of my favorite chipsets, as it combines plenty of speed with fantastic efficiency. It can comfortably handle anything I throw at it, and even processor-hungry games like Asphalt and Modern Combat are smooth and fast. It always annoys me how Moto has multiple different versions of the phone with varying RAM and storage, but my review sample has 3GB and 32GB of internal storage, which seems to be the sweet spot. There's a 4GB Model 2, with 64GB of storage, but I can't see that extra gig being all that useful. Finally, there's a version with 2GB RAM that probably should be avoided if you plan on utilizing those multitasking features. Software. Moto's version of Android is one of the best versions of Android. It's 7.0 Nougat at its finest, with only a smattering of extra features laid on top. The G5 Plus, like Google's Pixel, ships with the Pixel launcher, ditching the typical app drawer button for a swiping gesture. Camera. I have been constantly surprised by the camera on the Moto G5 Plus, but considering even last year's model had an impressive snapper, I probably shouldn't have been. On paper, there isn't a whole lot of difference between the 13-megapixel sensor inside the regular Moto G5 and the 12-megapixel sensor in the Plus, but you'll see the difference in the results. Battery life. While the smaller and cheaper Moto G5 packs a removable battery, the Plus model has to make do with a sealed-in 3000 mAh cell. Considering the rather impressive stamina, that shouldn't really be an issue.